What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today this is going to be your last chance to get some pretty darn powerful weapons until Bungie yeets them into the Shadow Realm. Now, what the heck am I talking about? Well, on the next Tuesday reset, so that's going to be March 5th, there's a massive update hitting Destiny 2. Tons of PvP changes. They're actually adding weapons to the loot pools of Nightfall's, Trials of Osiris, and Iron Banner. But one of the biggest things that is happening, and we only learned about this from the weekly update last week, and got a whole video on that that's linked up above, is that the Prophecy Dungeon is actually getting a refresh. So, all of the loot in the Prophecy Dungeon is going to be overhauled. So, all of the weapons dropping will now have new roles, as well as an all-new origin trait, and 3 new weapons are being added to the Prophecy loot pool. But to make way for this, 3 existing weapons are going away. Now, those weapons are the Swift Verdict Sidearm, the Long Walk Sniper Rifle, and the Last Breath Auto Rifle. So, after the Tuesday reset, these will no longer be dropping, and there will be no way to attain them within the game. And these 3 weapons are actually pretty decent, especially the Last Breath Auto Rifle I actually really want. So, let's talk about them. Now, in order to get these weapons, actually, you don't need to do the entirety of the Prophecy Dungeon. From the very first encounter, as you can see, the Long Walk Sniper Rifle can drop. Now, after that, in the second encounter, you do have the Swift Verdict Sidearm and the Last Breath Auto Rifle dropping from this cube encounter. So that's kind of it. You technically don't need to do, the boss room, because the weapons dropping there are returning. However, we don't know if the same god rolls available on the loot in the dungeon right now will be available when this dungeon refresh happens. A great example actually is with the Judgment Hand Cannon. As you can see, when I was doing my Prophecy runs, I actually got one with Demolitionist plus time payload. I made a video on this years ago when it came out. I actually really like this hand cannon. Like, demo plus timed is super good for a PvE hand cannon. Now, it's kind of since been power crept by other options, but I still think it's a great choice. But actually, the Judgment is changing elements. So when this Prophecy Dungeon refresh happens, it's going to become a stasis weapon instead of a kinetic weapon. So considering kinetic just hits harder, does 10% more damage than a stasis weapon, that might be another example of something you want to get now before the weekly reset if you do value that role. And who knows if this same role will be available on the stasis version. But regardless, if you are interested in getting any of these weapons, either the ones being changed or the ones being removed, there's some things you need to know about actually acquiring them. And when this new weekly reset started, it didn't look good because the Prophecy Dungeon was not the featured dungeon, meaning you could just go through and get 1 set of loot drops per character. And that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what you're seeing in the background. So you would only have the 3 different opportunities from the cube room chest to get, for example, that auto rifle, and you would also have the secret chests, the one before the cube room and the one after in the Sparrow section, and that was really it. Until randomly yesterday, as you can see, Bungie Help tweeted the following. Based on player feedback, the featured dungeon this week has been changed to Prophecy. And so that means now you can actually go in and farm these weapons. You can sit in that cube room encounter and farm the god roll, auto rifle, or sidearm if you wanted to before they are gone. Now, I've seen actually a lot of people complain about this because they want the featured dungeon to be Prophecy next week when all the new stuff comes out. However, apparently someone said Bungie made a Reddit comment saying it will still be the featured dungeon next week. This is just a special thing for the weekend basically, so that people can actually acquire some weapons before they're being deleted. But again, it should be featured this week and next week if that is correct. So let's talk about what you're actually going for here. Now, in terms of the long walk sniper from that first encounter, actually I have a very good PvE role here. And this is an aggressive frame 72 rounds per minute sniper. I actually have clown cartridge to significantly increase the magazine size, combined with firing line to do more precision damage when near 2 or more allies. And that is definitely the PvE god roll in my opinion. However, instead of clown cartridge, you can actually get overflow to again significantly increase that magazine size. Now, if you're going for a PvP roll, this thing could get some pretty good ones, especially it can actually get slide shot in the first column. So sliding gives you 20 extra range and reloads your magazine. And then in the second column, it can get snapshot sights or moving target, or quick draw even, so you can definitely put together some pretty decent rolls here. Now, in terms of the other two weapons from the cube encounter, so first of all, for the Swift Verdict, this is a precision frame 260 rounds per minute archetype, so it hits very hard, and the perks can be extremely good. In the first column, you can also get slide shot, you can get threat detector, you can get killing wind, tunnel vision. Again, there's some decent options, especially slide shot, like for PvP, is going to be quite desirable. Then in the second column, hey, you can just get kill clip, right? You can actually get rangefinder. I mean, slide shot plus rangefinder is going to be insane for a PvP sidearm here. I remember like True Vanguard really liking the Swift Verdict, if I'm remembering correctly, because of these rolls. Like, it just has great stats and like a good archetype for PvP. Then moving on from there, however, what I'm really looking for is the Last Breath auto rifle. Now, this is a kinetic adaptive frame 600 rounds per minute archetype, and the rolls you can get are kind of insane. So in that first column, you can get, as you can see with my teammate's lucky roll that he got while doing this, subsistence to get ammo back in the magazine after getting a kill, combined with either frenzy or one for all in that second column, and that's going to be a fantastic auto rifle roll. But I think even better than that, you can actually get Demolitionist in that first column, and in the second column you can actually get Adrenaline Junkie for the straight up Demo plus Adrenaline Junkie wombo combo, but you can also get Adagio for a damage increase. You can also get, again, Frenzy or One for All, and I think the role of Demolitionist plus either Frenzy or One for All is insane for a PvE auto rifle. Like, one of the best PvE auto rifle rolls in the entire game. In fact, the Root of Nightmares raid auto rifle, the Strand one, its PvE god roll is Demolitionist plus a Frenzy, right? Like, that's the absolute god roll, one of the best PvE auto rifles in the entire game, that raid one. But if you're not using Strand, again, kinetic is going to literally hit harder, do around 10% more damage. So you're actually better off with the Last Breath in that scenario with the same roll. But I could even see an argument for One for All being even better than Frenzy because it does significantly more damage when you get it going. So, like, the Last Breath is no joke. And for PvP, I mean, it can get like ricochet rounds for the stat increase, it can get dynamic sway reduction for massive accuracy, heck, it can even get slide shot for a big range increase, and then you combine it with, again, Adagio for that damage increase, rangefinder, like, it can get slide shot rangefinder on a darn auto rifle. You're gonna be beaming people from ranges they simply don't expect. And I say you will because I got screwed. You see, there's actually a glitch in the game right now. Because I did my 3 runs before Bungie changed it to the featured dungeon, now when I go in, I get 0 loot. So, like, I cannot farm this dungeon. Hopefully Bungie changes this, but guys, I'm gonna have to live vicariously through you guys, so I hope you guys find the time to get in there, get that Last Breath god roll. the role that I could never get, and it looks like because I'm glitched out of the game, I never will get. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this interesting. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.